Hello Asia, how is everybody doing? Welcome back. This is Prove Your Skill number 3 on the Asian server. We'll be following ENT today. Looking through the chat, there is a delay guys, so it's pretty difficult for me to interact with you, but there are rewards, but the only rewards are my charming and beautiful personality and the amazing gameplay you're going to be seeing. Unfortunately, those are the only rewards, but hey, those are great rewards, let's be honest. In other words, there are no boosters, no avatars, no keys, nothing like that. Just as I said, my laid-back, charming and friendly personality and the absolutely amazing gameplay that you're going to be seeing. As I said, we are following ENT. They are going out on the top of the hour and they are in Group 1. They will be first off, there they are. They are going out against Kaz05 on Fort Despair with the decider on Naval Frontier. So let's have a quick flyover of Fort Despair, shall we? Where is it? There it is. We'll have a flyover and see what potentially we're going to be seeing today, action-wise. It's not... guys, I'm not going to be able to give you like the exact strats. These are just guesstimated strats. So we have 3 caps. We have an A cap that is basically there. There it is. Sorry. We have the A cap there. We have the B cap just on the side here. And we have the C cap down in that corner. Now, sometimes what we have, we get clans sending... Sometimes they send mediums, but I've seen heavies being sent up here recently. They send tanks up to this side. Reason being, well, if anything is going to traverse across there, or the clan has a mouse or an E100, which they generally put about there, you can get some good cross shots in. Alternatively, we do get some clans put in a Vickers or even a Kranwagen here. Vickers, to get those early spots, you can see if anything's going that way, and you can normally get the views on people going to the C cap. Both these positions are mirrors. So from the other side, you can do it that way, and you can send your tanks up that way. On occasion, you'll get clans sticking a big super heavy around this part here, waiting to see if they can get into B, and again, it's almost a mirror with sticking a super heavy here. This is like a mouse or an E100, just to put pressure on that cap. On occasions, they do push into the cap without actually going there. We also get clans trying to stick tanks up into this zone. Sometimes this one, sometimes this one. The reason being, well, again, you can get the spots as they go across towards B, and you can get some good shots onto the C cap to reset it. Same from this position. This one just has a little bit more cover. Again, it's almost a mirror image on the other side with tanks going around here. They can reset the C cap, they can spot things coming inside, and if they go here, they can also, if they're lucky, try and get some resets on the B cap. We also do get, on occasion, brawls around this area. I have seen clans take something like an IS-4, come in, fast cap the C if they can, staying in cover at all the times, then backing out to sort of this position here so they can side scrape off this corner. And again, almost a mirror image on the other side. So that's what we're looking at. As I say though, you never know what the clan's are going to do. They have multiple strats on these maps, so it's never like that. Hello Peter, by the way, sorry. We can have a quick look at Naval Frontier. I don't think we're going to get to Naval Frontier, but you never know. But this is the decider, so we'll have a quick look at it and see potentially. We've got a couple of minutes. We're not going out for another 5 minutes yet, and there's no point jumping into the room just yet. So let's get up high and see. Right, recently you normally get, let's start at the start. You normally get clans sending a medium or a Vickers or something along that description here to get those spots. Again, it's a mirror. You get them going into that bush as well. Some clans, let's go this side first, like to send like an IS-4 or something along those lines, trying to put pressure onto this C cap with the likes of maybe a Kranvagn or a Progetto maybe up here, just to put some pressure on. Because again, it's a mirror. You can do the same from this side, and I have seen clans taking their big IS-4s into this position, and again with a Progetto or sometimes a Kranvagn or even a Vickers up here. Rotating through, I do see some clans taking a 50B, and basically what they'll do, they'll stick the 50B around this position just to, if they do a double 50B or even just a single bit 50B, they stick them here just in case anything comes down the flank. Plus, they can reset that A cap, which is just there. We then have clans sometimes taking tanks like E5s, etc. into the A cap, getting that fast cap and getting out of there. That way they can get to a nice position around here. They can put shots down that side. They can reset the B and vice versa. But they have to be careful because some clans like to stick like a heavy or something here to just reset that cap. I do see some clans sticking a heavy here. It's not, I haven't seen it recently, just to put pressure on that position and to reset the B cap. And I have seen some clans jumping into the B cap and putting a lot of pressure on them. And again, mirrored from the other side, you can stick it in there and you can put pressure this way. Generally, we normally get a brawl around the B and the C area on Naval Frontier, but again, multiple strats from multiple maps, so you never really know what they're going to do. We should have the room now. Yes, we have. So we're going to jump in and ready up. Kaz05 are not here, and there's 2 minutes to go. As I said, we're going out on Fort Despair. ENT will be on the north spawn. Kaz will be on the south spawn. Unfortunately, I don't get to see the queue for Kaz, so they may be here, they may not. We just do not know yet. At the moment, we've only got 6 players for ENT, but clearly they're feeling confident with 2 Death Stars, a Jaegeru. So maybe Kaz won't turn up seeing that they've drawn against ENT, but you just never really know. So we've got a bit of time before kickoff. We've got just over 2 minutes before we need everybody here. So we'll just hang fire and see what's going to go down. Hopefully Kaz are going to turn up. Let's just have a quick look at them. We can always jump back in. Let's have a quick look at who they are. Because I don't know Kaz, unfortunately. So this is Kaz. Load, please. Please load. Load. Okay, they're a 44% win rate clan. Well, 45% win rate clan, let's be honest. They may look at ENT and say, no point doing that, because ENT are a 66.25% win rate clan. So they may just think, well, there's no point playing. because we're just going to get steamrolled. I hope they don't. I hope they turn up. We've just got over a minute to go. If they don't turn up, that's a shame, to be honest with you, because we'd like to see some action. And, you know, give it a go, guys. It doesn't matter if that you get steamrolled. Giving it a go is not a bad thing. It really isn't a bad thing. I don't think they're going to show, unfortunately. So we're going to have a big bye here. It's going to be a technical victory to ENT. Simple as that. That's a shame, really. As I said, Kaz, if you're watching, next time, guys, just give it a go. Doesn't matter if they get steamrolled. What does it matter? You'll get some great experience and get to see some interesting ways to play these maps. But to me, it looks like they're not going to be turning up. There's only, what, 15 odd seconds to go. They're not here. It's going to be a technical victory to ENT. Unless, of course, they all show up right now, like immediately now. But they're not. So it's a technical victory to ENT. That's not surprising. We've got another 2 minutes. I don't think cars are going to show up for this one either, so ENT will easily get into the next round, and we've got like 32 minutes to waste some time. Thankfully I've got some replays, so that's a good thing. Oh, yeah. So, pretty easy one for ENT this, especially when your opponent doesn't turn up. It's a damn shame. I mean, it happens. It's obviously going to be difficult. I mean, you roll up thinking we're going to have a good day out today, guys. Get the clan together. You know, we haven't got amazing win rates, but you know we'll have a bit of fun in the tournament. And then boom, you get pitted against a top 8, or top 4 really. It is soul destroying and slightly demoralising, that I understand, but next time, guys, just give it a bash. You never know. You never know what will happen. You just never know. Plus, think of all the experiences I said that you gain. It's just the way it goes. Anyway, pretty easy roll up into the next round for ENT. They're not going to be too upset about it. Obviously, they don't get to sort of practice, so to speak, but they'll jump in a training room if they know what's best for them and give it a bash that way, go through their strats. Their opponent for the next round most likely will turn up. I don't know. Don't know who their opponent is yet, and we won't find out for another like 30 odd minutes, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, it's just the way it is, guys, just the way it is. So Kaz 0-5, not going to show, big no show for both games. ENT handed the victory there, pretty easy for them. We've now got to wait a long time. So where are they? There they are. So we've now got to wait basically half an hour before they kick off next. They're going to go out on Rockfield and Vineyard, so what we'll do, we'll have a quick look at those to waste a little bit of time. Let's have a look at Rockfield first. I have got it here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, I'm going for the big bearded look. I don't know why. I'm in two minds. Do I trim it? Do I not trim it? I don't know, to be fair, Everett. So, Rockfield, always an intriguing map. We've got 3 caps. We've got the C cap over there. We've got the B cap just tucked behind this rock pile here. There you can see it. And we have the A cap just tucked behind that, just in front of that bunker. What normally happens in tournaments, unlike normal gameplay, you do get it every now and then, but what normally happens is that you get a medium or a light tank heading to this position here to try and get those spots to see if anything's coming to the C cap. If they're not doing a C strat, then they'll normally stick a heavy like an IS-4 behind this rock. And again, both positions are mirror, so they stick an IS-4 behind that rock, and they can also send a Vickers or a medium to that position. Then sometimes you get the majority of the team, which happens to be the E5 Scram Wagons or IS4s, pushing up to this area, dropping into the A cap here. That way you've got some protection. You don't have protection from HE coming from the other side, but you do have similar protection. And again, it's a mirror. You normally get brawling around this area and the B cap. So at times, however, they do like going to the C cap. It's not, I mean, some clans like it, some clans don't. You normally see at least 1 or 2 tanks going to A and B if they're doing a C strat. They're still going to put that Vickers or medium in that position I showed you, or a tank similar to that, unless they are trying to fast cap C and do an Iron Fist rush. It does happen. The teams can send their majority of their team over here, but then it makes it pretty tricky for them to get down and do that B cap. They can flank, but you never know. Like I said, I've seen multiple times that some teams go to C, some don't, some go to B and A. It just depends on what mood they're in on that day. Coming out, I can't remember the other map. What was the other map? I can't remember. I've forgotten completely what the other map was now. Vineyards. There you go. Vineyards. We still don't have an opponent. So let's have a look, see if I've got Vineyards here somewhere. Look at that. I don't have Vineyards. Oh, such a pain. So let me just quickly open a training room. Let's get into Vineyards. We can have an overview of Vineyards, because Vineyards is always an interesting map. I think it's a great map tournament-wise. So let's have a quick look. Create the room, jump in, do a battle, wait for the countdown, jump back out again, and then we will see. But Vineyards is always an interesting map. Again, clans generally in clan wars play it slightly differently to what we would get in random battles. Let's just jump out, because we don't need much time on the map. Dismiss the room, get out of here, jump into there, click onto that, here we go. Thank you. I'm loving the bit. It's getting there, man. It's getting there. I want to do it nice and big, I think. So this is Vineyards, and it's got 3 caps. We've got a C cap down there in the city, in the middle of the houses. You just see the flag poking up there. And then we've got the A and B caps, respectively. There we go. One, and the other one on the other side. Now, generally what happens, there's multiples here. Sometimes you get, from this spawn, fast capping into here with their medium or their light, and on occasion sending their heavies down, getting over this and getting to this ridge line here. This way they can put pressure onto that cap. When you're coming from the other spawn, again there's the fast cap, but instead of going to the ridge, because the ridge is no good, you tend to find them coming down here, either trying to get some good positioning there with their hull down tanks, or pushing through onto the bridge and trying to get either A behind there or put the pressure onto that cap. That does sometimes happen. On the other spawn, on occasion you'll get them sending like an IS4 to this position here. Why? Because you can go nicely hull down, you can put pressure on anything coming along there, and pressure coming down there. On the alternative, well, sometimes they don't go all the way. Sometimes they go to here. Unless you've got an E5, if you've got an E5, then E5s can push to this position because they're nice and haul down, but they've got to be careful. On occasion, people will go to the C cap, but they won't go straight in, they'll go wide, both directions, and normally have a bit of a brawl. And on other occasions, you will get clans going into the Northern Ruins with their mediums and lights, trying to put pressure on, trying to get round and reset those caps. So it all depends what positions they want to go to and what strats they're doing, but that's a quick overview of Vineyards. Again, it's a great map. You normally get a lot of action around this middle area, so who knows? Who knows what strats and what they will do? They can do multiple strats on multiple maps. So let's see if we've got any... No, we haven't going to get any results yet, so let's get some proper replays up and running. Let's have a look at the grill of tropical virals here on the EU server. And I'll just drop this out because you don't need to see my ugly mug while they're playing. But mines, I must admit, I do like the rebranded mines. It does look very nice. It does look very nice. Yeah, do you like that, Peter? The map overviews. I thought, well, now we've got the ability to overview in replays. It's quite a nice way to get people sort of into the map, so to speak, and to try and anticipate what they're doing, so give people an overview. So I was hoping that could be used. I was hoping that was going to be useful. So because I'm no good at doing, you know, I've tried doing Strat Sketch, but I just can't get it to work properly for me. Sometimes I go in, it says, you know, the server's not, I can't get into the server or something. I don't know why. I think it's something to do with Dubai internet or something. I just don't know. How do you speed up the speed in Spectator? It's the keys, 1 to 9, basically. 1 being the slowest, 9 being the fastest. That's how you do that. But anyway, as I was saying, I do like the rebranding of mines, to be honest with you. I do like the rebranding. There's only one thing, though. I'm just going to wait till he takes this shot, then I'll show you the one thing I'm talking about. So he's taken the shot. I'm just going to pause it there for the moment. I'm going to just go high. So on mines previously, because this is all the rebranding, and it looks aesthetic, except this. Now, previously, that didn't exist. And you used to be able to get to this position, okay, and you could put shots around there, and then you could come back, and there was like a little dip that you could sort of bounce shots in. That dip is now gone because this wooden fence is now there. Now, I personally haven't played mines yet where I can try out whether or not that still exists, but I don't think it does anymore. I think that wooden fence is going to prevent that, but I don't know. Anyway, back to the game. What are your thoughts? Have you played mines? Have you tried it? I mean, I don't know. I haven't played it yet, so... Well, I have played it, but I haven't been up to that position, to be honest with you. Because I was in a 183, and 183s don't go to that position. Simple as that, really. But as you can see, he's not gone to the typical TD position here, Tropical Virals. He's stayed pretty low. We do get TDs in this position, to be fair, but this is not the traditional positioning, and it's interesting. I must admit, it's an interesting way to play it. He's a great player, by the way, Tropical Virals. So I'm not questioning his ability at all. Just questioning. I've not really played a TD from this position, so I'm intrigued to see how he gets on. Is my point. As I said, it looks cool. I have no idea what that is. Let's watch those dog eating noodle heads Lego. I have no idea. I have no idea what that means. Now he's pushed forward into the other positioning, which this is nice. He's pushed right forward. He should be able to get the cross shots here. Oh yeah, we're getting a nice cross shot into that E5. That was beautifully done. Hello, Shal. How you doing, mate? That was a beautiful, beautiful move there by Tropical Virals. And he's not played this map conventionally, I would say, but look at this. I mean, boom! What a roll into that poor grill. I guess he doesn't have the spool liner. Bless him. Next time I think he needs to. I think he needs to put a spool liner on that one, because boy, that hurt. Maybe able to knock the jag here. Oh, he bounces. And then he gets a smacking from the grill from the other side. He's doing okay though. Then you got 545 hit points left. That's enough. Oof! There goes Kimi Räikkönen in the E5. It's a bit of a smack. So it's now 3 against 4. 3 TDs against 2D, 3 TDs and a heavy against 2 TDs and a heavy. Tropical just needs to bide his time, realistically. He's in a relatively good position here unless they all rush him. And we've seen the Jaegeroo as a one-shot. One of the grills is a one-shot. The other grill, however, looks pretty healthy. But it doesn't look like they're pushing him anytime soon. Oh, no, they are. The other grill is not that healthy at all, actually. He's just got over half his hit points left. Here comes the Jaegeroo. Here comes the 113 as well. He may be able to take the 113 here. Yes, he does. That's a great shot. Now it's just 3 on 3. 3 TDs against 2 TDs and a heavy. Grill's pushing heavily. Don't know if that's a good idea. Clearly wasn't. Clearly was not a good idea. So Tropical Viral's here and 3 kills and already dished out 5.5k damage, almost 5.6. There are 2 tanks left, both of which are one-shots, but he's got to be careful because to that Jaegeroo and the grill, he is also a one-shot. If the grill hits him with a nice HE roll, that is. Now, we saw him smack the grill earlier, set him on fire and everything. Down goes the Jaegeroo. There's the grill. He's still there. Oh, he's dropping his adrenaline load. Don't know why he should do that because he's going to go down. There you go. It's all over. 5.8k is what it's showing with 4 kills. But is it? 6.5k because of quite a few blind shots that we didn't catch up on. And really nicely done there by Tropical Viral. It was a well-deserved mastery. So, let's stay with these tanks and let's see one of my games from yesterday. It's very rare that I play one of my replays, but I'm going to play it because I don't care. And it has been on a recent video, but hey, a replay is a replay is a replay. And it's the only time I get to show mine off, really. So I'm going to show it off. I don't care. Plus, I've just gone from a grill, a German tier 10 TD, to a Jaegeroo, a German tier 10 TD. So, with its new funky camo. Yes. It's funky camo and a railing. With some bags dangling off it. That costs a lot of money. Yes, indeed. You will see the T-22 in this game shouting a lot. You'll see him, the T-22, shouting a lot in this game, and you'll see somebody else shouting a lot in this game as well, calling everybody losers and cowards and all manner of lovely things. But hello, Emil. Oof, take a bit of that. Now, I suspected I was going to be spotted, so I jumped down there. And I was hoping to get onto the AMX, but I completely fluffed the shot. And I mean completely. I mean I completely fluffed this shot. Like that. That's just a terrible, terrible shot. Terrible shot! But I shall redeem myself, potentially. Potentially. I don't really want to shoot the Emil, it's a waste of ammunition. He's only got 227 hit points. And there's the AMX. Now, I make a mistake here, I should have loaded HE, but I didn't. I kept with AP, and I only do 661. If I would have loaded of HE, I probably could have rolled him a lot better, and taken a lot more out of him. But, you know, we live and learn. It is the way it goes. So, you see the Fosh is very upset. The Fosh is very, very upset. He's a very upset Fosh. So I can see that there's a TVP and a Vickers over there. So, looking to try and get shots onto one of them. I'm hoping that the TVP will come. Yes, he does, but I've got a dead Fosh there, so I don't really want to waste the ammunition because 9 times out of 10 I'll hit the Fosh. Hopefully the Vickers will try and run away. He's a one-shot, and if I load HE, I may be able to get a good roll up his backside. And I do. There you go. He is gone. Now I get a bit lucky here. The E100, for some strange and unbeknown reason, decides not to push me. And he decides to do that, which sort of allows me to put a nice roll into him and get an engine fire and everything else. Now he's down to a one-shot, so I will take a shot from him. It's not going to hurt me that much. I mean, he's going to knock me for 600. He's never going to ammo rack me. I can finish him off down. And there we have it. So it's 3 against 4. They got 2 Jaegeroos and a TVP. Now, I'm suspecting the Jaegeroos are camping somewhere. I've not seen them. Oh, and there's one of them. Now, this is just a poorly timed and a bad shot. I should have aimed low. I shouldn't have gone for the hatch, but I did. I tried to get the side. It was poorly timed because he managed to turn, and that was just a bad one for me. But now he's come side on, and he's sat in the middle of the open, so that's lovely. I'm just going to sit here, track him all the way back. He goes off the screen, but I'm pretty sure I hit him there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Now I've been spotted, so I'm just going to try and cover my bottom plate a little bit and try and sort of side scrape off this rock whilst reversing backwards. There we go. Now I can put a nice roll into his bottom plate. And 857. I'm not going to complain about that, are we? No, we're not. Now I don't need to finish him off. It would have been nice to get the kill, but hey. Now I know the TV... There's the other Jaegeroo. Now I know the TVP was over in that corner, so I'm hoping that he's pushing along the middle somewhere. I've been spotted. There he comes. He's going to bounce me. Then I'm going to put a nice HE, hopefully into his side. But I get a low roll because I hit the side of his turret. I was trying to aim lower, but I didn't. So I'm going to ram him instead. Get a nice 400 out of that. Sillily, I pressed the adrenaline button. Shouldn't have done that. Now we've just got the Jaegeroo left. So we've done 5.2k damage, bounced 1.4, taken 3 kills. I did drop the go faster button, but it's a Jaegeroo. That's about as fast as you're going to go up a hill with a strong breeze behind you. But hopefully I'm going to get there in time. It would be nice, it would be nice. Come on, keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. Come on, present. This time I'm not going to make the mistake I made on the other Jaegeroo. I'm going to go low. There we go. And boom, finish him off. 590. 5.8k it says. But it was a bit more because the one Jaegeroo didn't register. That one shot on the Jaegeroo. We got 4 kills. And we actually did 6.6k. Get a nice little mastery. Which was a nice surprise. And yeah, I enjoyed that game. Despite the fact that all these lot around here were just complaining. So we had 2 zeros in that game. I mean, the Fosh was complaining all the way through, and the 322 was not very happy either. So I enjoyed it. It was a nice game. A nice game. So let's see what else we've got. Here we go. We've got Lost Maiden in the Standard B on Canyon. Yes, I am a noob. I'm just going to go to the little boys' room. Back in a moment. Okay, well I'm getting a few ping spikes here on Asia. In fact, it's been struggling since the update. So that's why the FPS is fluctuating up and down, up and down. Because I'm just getting ping spikes, and it's frustratingly annoying, to be honest with you. But it happens. It does happen. I've noticed Asia, I mean, most of the servers have been pretty unstable since the update, to be fair. Well, this press the wrong button. Sorry, but this is a great game in the standard B. It's a beautiful game, and if you keep watching this. This one's surprising. I'm going to let the game do the talking rather than me, because it plays this tank well on this map. You can hear cat. Like I said, you can hear the in the back cuckoo, like a cuckoo in the background. It's actually in my garden. I have a lot of birds in my garden this time of year. I don't know, it's just lots of them. Lots of birdies. So already he's got 5 kills, doing 3.9k in damage. There's 2 tanks left, the T49 and the T95. T95 is a bit tricky for this poor old standard B to pen frontally. So you can see there he's desperately looking for it, but then the T49 makes a bit of a mistake. Unfortunately, he just tracks him there. Maybe he shouldn't have used the heat. HE would have been nicer, I feel, but unlucky, he gets the track shot. Now it's 3 against 2. The T49 will be on a long reload, and he should be able to finish him off. He is desperately trying to get out of dodge though, as you can see. Comes hurtling around the corner. T49 is going to make a mistake now, I think. He stayed too low. Goes up the hill, tries to get a shot in, gets the bounce. That was a lucky bounce, to be fair, but beautifully played, and the 49 is doomed and gloomed. I think the 49 there was a little bit unlucky with the bounce. I think he may have used, I don't know what he used. It would have been heat, and he hit the turret. So 6 kills now, just the T95 to go, and oh, look at that. T95 presenting its rear. That makes it much easier to pen, and why not? And there we go. Raz. 4.9k damage, 560 bounce, and a Raz, but only a first class. What more do you have to do in the standard B? Anyway, we've got the room now, so let's find out who ENT are up against. DCGTB, we are on Rockfield with ENT on the north spawn and DCGTB on the south. I'm just going to jump out because we've got plenty of time. I'm going to see if there's been any upsets. Let's have a look. Have there been any upsets? Cats are through, BB, Durf, Feast, ENT, King, E7 and DCGTB. Moving down, well, not really many upsets in that group. What about the next group? Well, EA, PGMT, GV, HLV, IDR, and SMON and NQE7 are all through. Any upsets? Cam 1, they've sort of lost track since the winter tour where they were doing particularly okay, but they've seemed to have gone off the rails. Same as DTG, so unfortunate for them. But we are out now. DCGTB against ENT. So this is going to be an interesting game. Let's jump back in. It's the quarterfinals already because it's Asia, and it's a lot more streamlined in Asia. Not as many clans jumping in. But anyway, let's have a look at other teams. ENT, we have Clutch in a Clanwagon. I can't remember. Devil's Anthem in an IS4. Roses or Rosie in an E5. Necromancer in an E5. Renamed User in a Vickers. Striker also in a Vickers. And potentially, I don't know. They're changing everybody around. So Keng Wars are coming in an E5. I don't know what Striker's doing. He was in a Vickers a minute ago. Moving over to DCGTB, we have Frozen in the IS4. I don't know, yeah, just Frozen. We have Feneko is my waifu in an E5. Krantz in an E5. Mutsu in an IS4. Is that Tesfaye in an E5? Van Persie, there he is, in a T22. And Pastel in an E5. So that's how they're lining up. No super duper mega heavies here for Rockfield. A lot of IS4s, a lot of E5s. So yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd be saying, well, this is looking like a B and an A strat. Sending those that Vickers a renamed user over to have a look at the C cap along with the T22 of DCGTB. But as I say, and I keep saying, and I can't say it enough, we just don't know. I mean, what strat they use is up to them. They have so many different strats, these type of clans at this level. If they didn't, then everybody would all know, wouldn't they? It'd be simple as that. So it'd be interesting to see how this one plays out. I mean, ENT have been looking very good so far in the spring season. So I would argue that they've got the advantage here. But never underestimate clans like DCGTB. They can come back and they can smack them. They can spoil their party somewhat. They can spoil their party. Oh, look, completely forgot the webcam. I'm back! Yay! So anyway, we've just got over half a minute to go, so not too long really. Not too long. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, the quarterfinals, Rockfield, it's always interesting. When both clans are looking to get through to tomorrow, obviously, for the final stage. And to do that, they need to get into the semis, realistically. We have a much more condensed PYS. Normally it's 8, this time it's 6. So, you know, previously you could lose out on getting through to one final day. Now you just can't. Now it becomes critical to get there. Looking at the hit points, wow, DCGTB are just taking those hit points because they don't have a Vickers, whereas ENT do have a Vickers, so that's why they are struggling a little bit with. It's not much. I mean, that 700 hit points really is just nothing at this level. Let's get up high and see where they're going anyway. So we can see, well, different variations here. We've got E5s of ENT actually heading towards the C cap, apart from Keng Wars, and the Vickers like going to the position that I pointed out for the IS4. Klangwagon of Clutch, no, he's not, he's going to the A cap. So this is a different strat. Van Persie in the T22 is going to the position I thought, and Frozen in the IS4 for DCGTB is also going to the position that we pointed out. The rest of DCGTB heading to the A cap. So we did sort of predict what they were going to do, but I wasn't predicting this. And I did say that, you know, teams do, if they go to the C cap, do send 2 tanks the other way. And as you can see at the moment, wow, DCGTB are pushing down heavily onto the Cranwagon. So let's get over there. Frozen is also being sort of harassed here by Keng Wars. Devil's Anthem coming down to help out as well. Frozen's in a bit of problems here. He's not going to be lasting this battle, and down he goes. And Clutch in the Vickers has managed to get out of there. So is Devil's Anthem. So the push from DCGTB, they didn't take the cap, they pushed through, and the push did not work effectively. Devil's Anthem alive, Clutch is alive, and they've lost a tank, namely Frozen. And they've not been able to bleed ENT as much as ENT has bled them. Now ENT is looking to push onto Fenko is my waifu, or waifu. And here comes Clutch, fully loaded. No, yep. Oh, Fenko is going to go down here. We've already lost Pastel in the M5. This is good stuff from ENT. It's like a feint. Rename user may go down, but yeah, he's still alive. Down, however, goes Krantz. And there goes Rename user, but Van Persie also goes down. We've got Mutsu and Tasfaye left. Mutsu here in the IS-4 is being harassed by a lot of ENT tanks. Tasfaye is just toying with Clutch here. Devil's Anthem's going to go round in help. Poor old Mutsu is my waifu is going to go down. He's not going to last this battle, to be fair. Oh, he bounces. But, oh, Necromancer goes down. Well done, but down also goes Mutsu. So, ENT, convincing stuff there. They will take the advantage going into game number 2 here on Rockfield. As you can see there, poor old Frozen getting completely sidestepped and massively focused. He really had nothing to do. I mean, he went straight into that B cap and then just got pushed. ENT knocking out 17,800 damage compared to the 7,600 of DCGTB. So we're going to swap those spawn points here on Rockfield. This time we will have ENT on the south spawn, DCGTB on the north spawn. Looking at ENT, they've read it up first. Clutch again in a Kranwagen. Devil's Anthem in an IS-4. Keng Wars now dropping into a Kranwagen. Roses are Rosie in an IS-4. Our Necromancer in an E5. Rename user in an E5. And Striker once again in a Vickers Light. Moving over to DCGTB, where we have Frozen again in an IS-4. Feneko is my waifu in an E5, Krantz in an E5, Mutsu is my waifu in an IS-4, Tasfaye in an E5, Van Persie now in a Vickers, and Pastel in an E5. So just over half a minute to go before we kick off with the second game. As I said, ENT have already got 1 foot into today's semi-final. So DCGTB have got a lot to do to bring it back. Yeah, they have got a lot to do it back. It's not impossible, but on what we've just seen, ENT were very dominant. They were able to control the map, and they were able to rotate nicely and put a lot of pressure onto DCGTB. Here we go. Like I said, on the strength of what I've just seen, I think ENT have got the advantage here, but I'm also hopeful that DCGTB will push it back. Hit points, well, only 200 between them, and the favour is to DCGTB, but again, 200 hit points at this level of the game is nothing really. What's that? It's not even 200, it's less than that. It's nothing at this level of the game, and it doesn't give any real advantage. Not in real terms. So let's get a pie into the back. This time, well, we've got Striker heading to the position that we pointed out. We got Roses or Rose in the IS-4 also going to the position we pointed out, with the rest of the team heading, look like, to the A cap. Moving over to DCGTB, well, Van Persie has gone to the position that we pointed out, and Frozen is also going to the position, but the rest of the team are coming up to the C cap with quite a big Iron Fist push by looks on it. They're not going to find anybody here because they're all the way down there, and already we have Roses or Rosie dropping into the B cap. Frozen again getting smacked here. Roses or Rosie will be able to cap. So cap advantage will go to ENT. I'm just going to pull over this side. The B's and beings, because now there's a lot of work to be done. Oh, Van Persie there really losing a lot of hit points. He's got to get out of dodge. And you can see that DCGTB now 2 caps behind. They do have a cap, but ENT do have control at the moment. Frozen may be isolated here. Roses or Rosie are trying to turn around and get shots into the back of Frozen. That one bounces, and that's not what he wanted. He so he's going to have to get out of there, Roses or Rosie. Now we're going to go down over with this lot because they're trying to flank round. Renamed User is there, and our Necromancer is there. This is going to be difficult for DCGTB to come down this flank. And as you can see, I mean, ENT have put themselves in pretty decent positions here. They're going to get a lot of cross shots over into the DCGTB team as they pull along. What's doing my Waifu is leading the charge. He does have Feneko as my Waifu and Pastel with him. But Renamed User, quite rightly, is just retreating back. Poor old Frozen is being harried down there. He's on 828 hit points now. Good bounces onto Mutsu, but Renamed User, don't know what he's doing there, but he's going to get around. He almost got away with it without losing any HP. But now we have the E5s responding towards Renamed User, but Feneko is my Waifu is going down rapidly here. He's now a one-shot. He's got like 49 hit points. But Renamed User, Renamed User manages to take him. Frozen has also gone down. Renamed User goes down, but he's done some great stuff there. You can see that Devil's Anthem is pushing towards Necromancer to try and get down Tasfaye in the E5. Tasfaye is in world of problems here. Down goes Van Persie, also in the Vickers. Tasfaye is going to go. No point watching that. Krantz, Pastel and Mutsu is my Waifu. Well, they're all up here, but it's going to go to ENT. Let's not kid ourselves here. Krantz is going to go down. There he goes, courtesy of Striker in the Vickers. Pastel manages to take out Clutch, though. That's not bad, but it's 2 against too many, and the points are against them also. So, congratulations, ENT. Nicely played. On commiserations to DCGTB. Much better game than the first game, doing a lot more damage, but just not able to punch through ENT. So ENT will make it into today's semi-final. We won't probably be getting any other results anytime soon. So I'll just check before I start playing replays. ENT, here we go. We're on Mayan Ruins and then Halas. So let's have a quick overflow. Oh, sorry, let me just check the timings, because I always we're going out in about 25 minutes. So let's just do a quick flyover of Mayan and see what we can possibly see there. So here's Mayan Ruins. Mayan Ruins is always an interesting map. Again, they generally don't play it like you get in the pub games. Public games, everybody generally goes to the C cap. What normally happens in tournaments is if they've got a medium like a T22 or a Vickers, they will normally send them to the C cap. Just them. It's very rare that they send anything else. From both spawns, they normally send their mediums or lights here. What you then generally have, especially on the EU server, is you normally get something like an IS4, again from both sides, potentially looking to fast cap B and put pressure onto the B cap, with super heavies generally going towards the A cap from this spawn. Not all of them, they peel off at this area, and you get some of them like the Mouse and the E100, for example, coming around this point, possibly to there. And sometimes you get the likes of, say, the AMX50B. Some clans like playing that, coming to the A cap. From the other spawn, well, A cap is not normally a cap that they want to push onto because it's quite difficult. But they will put tanks into positions around here just to try and stop the A cap, with the majority of their heavies going along this route here. That way to prevent the B cap and to try and get a good position so they can put pressure on this area. In public matches, as I said, you normally get everybody going to C or here, and you get a brawl around this area. In fairness, I have seen strats where clans take some heavies along here and try to put pressure on, waiting for the clans to come down through this gap. But again, you just never know what strat they're going to employ. So that's Mayan Ruins, and I've forgotten the other map. Again. Deary me. What was it? I seriously can't remember. I've completely forgotten. But anyway, it gives me an excuse to see if we've got an opponent yet. No, we don't. It's Halas. That's what it was. So let's have a quick overview of Halas. If I've got Halas, have I got it? Oh, I don't have it, look. Oh, that's so annoying. Maybe I've got it in something like here. Let's have a look. No, 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 no. Yes. I do have Hellas, so that's okay. It's not a supremacy game, so we're not being able to show you everything, but we know what the caps are on Hellas. They're basically... let's have a get up high first. So basically we have B and A cap over on this side. And what you generally find, again, in the C cap over there, what you generally find is that from this spawn, they like to get their mediums and lights towards the C cap to try and get the spots, using the cover that it offers. They also like to position their tanks around this area, just to give some coverage from anything coming down that flank from the sea, or to look over there. Sometimes clans like to do a fast cap on the cap and then get down into these gullies, left and right, push through with hull down tanks like an E5 to put pressure on the cap. Now that's the same both sides. Fast capping A, which is there, and then taking your heavies like E5s, etc., or Crown Dragons, pushing them down through these gullies, because once you're into these gullies, these are nice hull down positions, and you can get here and you can put some great pressure onto the opposition. Doesn't happen all the time. When that happens, well, you can put a lot of pressure on them, and it means that they've got to do something, because you can basically get a fast cap A or B, prevent them taking the alternative cap, forcing them to take the C cap, but does generally cover on both angles to reset C. So then you force the team that does go for a C cap strat to push either down the flank this side or that side, and you are basically denying them, and it can turn into a very nice brawl around this area. But again, you just never know what they're going to do. So that's just a basic overview of Hellas. And with that, we've still got a lot of time, so I'm going to find another replay and go and get myself a cup of coffee. That's what we're going to do. Let's see if we've got any results come through yet, though. Don't think we have. Oh, we have. Only ENT. So what I'll do, find a replay of a recent replay that I've uploaded, and if you don't mind, I'll just go and get myself a cup of coffee. So let's have a look at Yusuf in the Stug. I'm now coffeeed up, so that's all good, isn't it? I do like the Stug, nice little tank. And here, getting a good display of it on Normandy. A beautiful map, I think. I love Normandy, I think it's a great map. And Yusuf playing it nicely so far. Quite aggressive in it, which is always a nice thing in a Stug. You can afford to be aggressive in some times. I mean, its frontal armour is nice. A dodgy bottom plate, but frontally it's a nice tank. Like most TDs, it's the sides and the rear that are the problem areas, not the front. And it does have a beautiful gun. It's got that typical German accuracy. I mean, it's seriously a great. Look at that. Bounce on the front, but not from the rear. You're not going to get the bounces from the back. You're going to get them from the front though. This poor Hetzer is going to be harassed. And there you go. And again, bounces him. That was that came from the rear though, didn't it? It didn't come from the front. No, it did come from the front. So Yusuf already just 2 kills. There's only less than 1,000 damage, but poor T25 is going to find a bit of aggro as he comes around the corner. A bit more aggro maybe. Oh, it's a ricochet. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. That's my problem, rubber bullets. I have a lot of those recently. I'm going to push on to the T1 Heavy. T1 Heavy is a beast of a tank, but when it's side on like that, it's not so much of a beast. Now it's 1,300 damage knocked out here by the little Stug. Down goes the T25. 2 tanks left though. There's the BDG and the Stug. The BDR, sorry. BDR is a very nice tank, but side on like that, sort of not giving it any justice. Although that was about, because it's when it's front on and it's not hull down, it's very easy to pen. Aside from that, if you keep it all down and front on, the only thing that's really open is the commander's hatch and the driver's hatch, which is a bloody good shot at the best of times. Now he's knocked out 1,900 damage, coming close to that 2k. And there's only the BDR left. BDR turns his turret, and there's the 2k, and 600 bounces, and 4 kills. Is it enough for a low tier ace? Of course it is. Beautiful little game that, and I do like that, even though we can all now go and say to Yusuf that he's a dirty seal clubber. He's not, so don't. It's a joke. Anyway, let's move down. Let's have a look at Thungus Chungus Gaming going out in the E100 on Naval Frontier of all maps. You can see my FPS. Well, you can't see because it's got a stupid subscribe thing in the button. My FPS is dropping because of the game client, which is really annoying. I mean, the ping is like boof, 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 boof. And it is annoying, to be fair. I mean, we've still got 10 minutes before we roll out, so I'm hoping this game is going to take us into the semi-final. But you never know how long this game will last. You see Chungus there just throwing around in. Didn't connect with the E5, but he knew he was there. It was an E5? Yeah, it was an E5. He knew that there was going to be a tank there, he just didn't connect. But it's always wise to do a blind shot. It's like when you go into desert sands, if you're going over the rails, turn your turrets towards the end of the rails, and as you go over, put blind shots in, because TDs like to sit there and you may not spot them, or you may be catching the tanks going over the rails if they're going into the desert. And it's always a good idea to put those blind shots in, because you never know. I played a tournament the other week with, I can't remember, I think it was with Imor, and we were on desert sands, and I put a blind shot in. We were playing RNG, I believe. Put a blind shot in. Not only did I connect, but I also set him on fire, and that was very satisfying, to be fair. It was very nice. And I hadn't seen him. It was a complete blind shot, and I just got him as he was going over the rails. He was in a T96. What is it? What's the one? The American Collector. It was one of them. And I know the guy as well. He sent me a message afterwards. Said great shot. And said yeah, completely lucky. Completely lucky shot. Total blind shot. But that's what you can do with blind shots, guys. I mean, if you can predict where the tanks potentially are going to be, there's no harm in putting a blind shot in. The E100 here has made a lot of ground, to be fair, to get to where he is. He's flanked all the way around, and they're stacking up nicely. Maybe you have to really finish off this Progetto here with an HE roll, and he does. It was a double tap because somebody else hit him as well. Thank you, Chris, for subscribing. That's very, very, very nice of you, and thank you very much indeed. Now he's got the E100 switching to the heat because it's the only way you're going to pen those cheeks. They're already 2.5k in the E100. Can he push down onto the E5 there? My FPS goes again down to 42. Trying to get the top of the E5. The E5 has dropped his reactive armor, but it's about to run out. That's why he's knocked in for 500 and not 600 with that AP. But the reactive armor will run out soon. The E100 here is very, very healthy. Even Stevens, team-wise, can he get that little hatch? No, he can't. No point in trying to. So it's even Steven. Oh no, it's yet still 3 on 3. Oh, and the E100 turns his turret, allowing our friend in the E100 to put a nice roll into the side of him. The T92 is overextending there. The STB is not great down on the flat like that. It's a great haul down tank. And in fairness, the STB should be looking to push the T92 by going back round where he's got better positioning for his armor profile. But he's doing well. The STB is doing well. The Emil now should be fully loaded, but the E100 is in a great position, so might as well drop down and face off on him. And as you see, he's gonna. That T92 is still being a pain and takes out the STB. As I said, the STB really shouldn't have been in the flat like that, not with his turret armor. Good bounce by the E100. Oh, doesn't bounce the E5, sorry. Nor does he bounce the T92. Maybe have to finish the E100 off. Yes, he does. Only for 105. Maybe it would have been better for leaving that for the Emil, but he knows what he's doing. Now he can probably finish off this E5. No, he doesn't. He low rolls him because he drops his reactive armor. Desperate for the Emil to put shots in. The E5 will reload before he does, but he gets a low roll, leaves him on 61 HP. Just the 92 left. 92 knows he's in trouble, but these two are one shots. The Emil 2, however, is loading his clip. If they stay together, then it's game over, because even if the T92 manages to take one of them, he ain't going to take both of them, not with his reload. So there he is. All he can do is, oh, it's a bounce. That's a bounce. He needed that bounce. That was unlucky for the T92, to be fair. Can he get him as he goes through? Oh no, he's not going through. He's not that daft. He's going to hang around there and reload, knowing that he's got the mobility. So it's difficult to enter. There he is. He's now loaded, so they've got to be careful. They have got to be careful. One of them could go down if the T92 gets a nice roll, and it is the Emil. The Emil has gone down. So now the T92 can do it. No, he can't. Turret facing the wrong way. He came out, and that was a great game. 5.1k damage. I think it should be. No, it is. It's only a first class. That's not big enough, but it's a great little game. Anyway, I like that. Let's see if we've got the tournament room up. No, we haven't. So let's see what the scores are on the board. So we have Feast, ENT, King, and E7 into today's semi-final. Who are ENT going out with? King. So that will mean Feast and E7 are up against each other. We are going out with ENT and King. That means Cats did not get through. They will be disappointed. And also Durr did not get through, and they will also be disappointed. Moving down to Group 2. Wow, GV, HLV, ID, and RN all through. They'll all be happy. EA, PM, PGMT, SMON, and NQE7 all failing at the quarterfinals. EA and PGMT will be disappointed, to be fair, but not surprised with GV, HLV, ID, and RN. More surprised here with Cats. Who did Cats go out playing? They were playing against King, so well done King for turning that around. King had a disappointing PYS number 2. But that's good for King, not so good for Cats. Cats will be disappointed. So we should get the invite any second now. So I might as well open a container, not the ones that you buy, the freebies. Boosters! And boosters! Nothing like boosters. Still haven't got the invite. It'll come through. Oh, it's about 30 odd, 40 odd seconds before we get it. We should be getting it very, very shortly. Da, 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 da. Maybe, no, still not. It'll come through in seconds for you. It's normally 5 minutes before. We are almost 5 minutes before. There we go. I'm going to jump in, I'm going to ready up, and I'm going to jump back out again. The reason being is, whilst there is a delay on the stream, it's just to prevent any potential stream sniping. Because, not that they're going to, I mean, they've got more important things to do than to look at my stream and try and get an advantage, to be honest with you. So we're going out on Mayan Ruins here in this semi-final. King against ENT. ENT have played particularly well so far. Not seen how King have been playing, to be honest with you. The first time I've streamed them in this PYS. So I don't know if they've been playing well or not. They, like I said, they had a disappointing PYS number 3, but aside from that, they seem to have a nice PYS number 2. They seem to have a nice PYS number 1. So it'll be interesting to see how they do today against ENT, who are, in fairness, pretty on fire at the moment. Okay, so let's get into the room. So we will have King on the north spawn, ENT on the south spawn. Hello, I'm back. ENT, I've read it up first. We have Clutch in an E5, Devil's Anthem in an IS4, King Wars in an E5, Roses Are Rosy in an E5, Necromancer in an E5, Rename User in a mouse, and Striker in a mouse. So I'm not surprised about the super heavies there. Moving over to King, we have Malinovka in an E5, Chunston Wurchill in a mouse, Enemy in an E5, Laladama in a T22, Perfection in an E5. Oh, I don't know who this one is. I'm sorry. Salmonella, of course it is. Of course it's Salmonella. Salmonella in an E5 and Neptune in a Kranwagen. So that's how they're readying up, but no, they're not. Malinovka is staying in the E5. Chunston Wurchill is going into a mouse, and Enemy, is it just Enemy Accurate? That's the one, of course it is. Enemy Accurate potentially in an E5. Laladama is still staying in the T22. Perfection still in an E5. Salmonella in an E5. Neptune jumping into an E5. Chunston Wurchill and Enemy, they're still debating what to go out in. They do have 2 minutes. It's not like... Oh, there we go. So Enemy is jumping in a mouse. Just waiting on Chunston Wurchill now. Is he going to go out in a Kranwagen? Yes, he is. So there we go. We have quite a few E5s there. The T22, a Kranwagen, and the mouse for King. And we have, again, 2 mouses, 4 E5s, and an IS4. So a lack of mobility for ENT. It'd be interesting to see what strat they're going to use. Much more mobility, especially with the T22 and the brace of E5s for King. With the mobility and with the fact they're taking a lot of hull down tanks, I am not expecting them to go anywhere near the C cap as such. I'm expecting this to be a B and possibly out towards that corner that I showed you overlooking the A cap. ENT, well, they are harder to predict, what with the IS4 and double mouse. The double mouses could, in theory, rush into C, or they could hold around the B cap or rush into the B cap like we saw. The E5s, well, they could go out to that corner like we saw, and along with the IS4 potentially, but they could also do a C strat with the IS4. So you just don't know what they're going to do until we're in the game. As I keep saying, there's multiple strats. These are good guesstimations, but that's all they are. Guesstimations. Nothing else. We will know anyway in about just over half a minute exactly what they're going to be doing. ENT will be looking at getting into that final today, consolidating those cups. King will be looking at also getting into the final today. If they don't, well, they both if neither of these teams get to today's final, they'll go to the third place playoff, and more importantly, they will also both go to tomorrow. which is what they're aiming for. That's crucial. Oh, don't be changing around like that. No, that could have ended in tears, to be fair. It didn't, but it could have. So there we go, aiming out towards that A cap, as I said, with potential around the B cap area. Don't see much happening at the C cap, especially from ENT, as I pointed out. But we'll see. Maybe Devil's Anthem in the IS4 will drop into B. You just never know. Anyway, we'll find out now. So let's jump up high and to the back of the map. See what King are doing. Oh, well, King are actually going to the C cap. That has taken me completely by surprise. ENT, however, are not taking me by surprise at the moment. They are heading towards the middle of the map to the B cap area. Down the line that I said, with the E5s and the E4. The E4, yeah, well, they're taking an E5 to overlook B. They go the E5 and the E4 of ANT are going up to the A cap corner. The Mouses are going to stay in the middle. Lalai Dharma actually is going to the C cap. That I did expect, because he's the only real medium. Chunston Wurchill in the Cranwagon, that's taken me by surprise, but he is in a good tank there to go haul down. Neptunus, well, he can't really push around that corner. There's far too many nasty tanks there. So cap advantage will most likely go to King here, with the Lalai Dharma there in the C cap. The A cap will be taken, and with the way that ENT are poised, they've got better positioning to defend B. Although renamed user has gone very wide, and he's not really isolated, but it is very wide. Gets a good shot into enemy accurate, and he's able to pull back. Now the B cap of Roses a Rosie drops in, but he gets reset, so I don't think he's going to be able to stay there. Oh, he is going to be able to stay there. Chunston Wurchill has had his head kept down. Roses a Rosie really looking to try and get this cap here, and he does. Now that is going to put King onto the back foot. ENT will now take the advantage here, and you can see the advantage already going in their favour. Let's quickly move over. Chunston Wurchill is getting a bit of a pounding here. It's not what he expected, not what he wanted. He needs Neptunus and Salmonella to try and help him out somewhere. But Roses a Rosie is up against the wall, and he's in a great position. Lalai Dharma is trying to come and sneak around the back. Now they're going to push through the middle, King. But there's a lot of big tanks there for ENT. There's two Mouses and Devil Anthem in the IS4, who absolutely gets wrecked. Oh, that was a massive double tap from the E5s going in. So Devil's Anthem there, really not happy, I bet you. Now the Mouses are going to be pushing back here because you've got Milon Usk and enemy accurate coming in. Devil's Anthem on 46 hit points. He's not long for the game, bless him. It's what's going to go down here. So, oh, Necromancer goes down, so does Devil Anthem. This is good stuff by King. Lalai Dharma's gone down as well, though. At the moment, ENT do have it on the points. Let's get over and see what's happening with the E5s. So we've got Neptunus and Salmonella and Chunston Wurchill in the Cranwagon. So there's a lot of brawling going around here. But they need to focus fire. And it looks like they're focusing Roses or Rosie, which is not bad. But Clutch is coming in to try and help out and get that HE roll into the back of Salmonella. Is he going to be able to do it? Yes, he is, but it's a low roll. Roses or Rosie probably will go down here. But enemy accurate's down, Milon Usk is down, Roses Rosie down, and oh, down it goes. So it's now 3 on 4. King War's pushing on Chunston Wurchill. Down he goes. Now we're back to the Mouses. But it's all over on points, and we're just about to get to the Mouses. Perfectionist was Neptunus was trying to cap, wasn't happening. So this goes to ENT on the points. Really close game. King really doing well, but then the focus fire of ENT really coming in. Poor old Devil's Anthem getting absolutely obliterated there. So King can do this. They can turn this around. They've got the capability from what I've just seen. They were slightly unlucky there. They were whittling down ENT. The two Mouses took a long time to whittle down, and they did lose their tanks in the middle area, but it was the caps that really did it for them. So next time we will be going King on the south spawn, ENT on the north, Milon Usk in an IS4, Chunston Wurchill in an E5, Enemy Accurate in a Mouse, Lalai Dharma in a VK90, Perfection in an IS4, Salmonella in an E5, and Neptunus in an E5. Moving over to ENT, wow, we potentially have Clutch and Devil's Anthem teaming up in an AMX-50B. And they do, doubling up there. Keng Wars in a Mouse, Roses a Rosie in a Mouse, Necromancer in a T22, Renamed User in a Mouse, Striker in an E5. Triple Mouse, double 50B. Interesting meta selection here for ENT. That is a lot of mouse. And it's a lot of DPM if those AMX-50Bs work in tandem with each other, because they can. This is sort of really going to be taking the battle to King. There's no way, with the exception of our Necromancer, there's no way those tanks are going anywhere near C. The T22 will, most likely, but nobody else. And if we move over to King, they have got no mediums and no lights. They do have 3 E5s, which aren't shabby, speed-wise, but no mediums and no lights. Now, we've just seen in the last game that that wasn't a detriment, because ENT had no mediums and lights. Looking at the hit points, well, ENT don't have the advantage as such, even though they've got those 3 Mouses. Their point is going to King, but, and it's a big, huge but, hit points, there's nothing in it really, not really. So, King, en masse, it is en masse, even though Enemy Accurate is right down here. En masse heading towards the A-cap, Lalai Dharma is going to peel off. Looking at what ENT are doing, well, again, taken by surprise. 50Bs and Striker in the E5 heading towards the C-cap. Necromancer's already there. They're looking to dominate around the middle area, I think. I think they were anticipating King coming this way and overlooking the A-cap. I don't think they were anticipating the whole of King to go to the A-cap, which is what they've done really. So now we've got Mouses here of Keng Wars and Renamed User pretty much out of it, and Roses are Rosie. ENT will take the early cap advantage. King have taken their sweet time getting to A, but now it all depends on the B cap, and it's King who've got to make all the moves. King have got to make all the moves here. As you can see now, ENT are keeping their 50Bs just back a little bit. It's all over to King. They've got to try and push either into the B cap or down one of the flanks, and you can see Milon Usk and Salmonella looking to try and pincer Roses a Rosie here, waiting for Perfectionist to turn up. Milon Usk may be able to get some great side shots into the Mouse. Yes, he does. But what about Salmonella? All the shots going across there into Neptunus. Roses a Rosie, you would say he's in a pretty dodgy position here, but he's not really, because he is a Mouse. And he's tying up 2 tanks. He's tying up Salmonella and he's tying up Elon Musk. This is allowing the pressure to be placed onto King. Just moving around the map so we can see what they're doing. I mean, Lalai Dharma here, looking to try and get shots into Striker. He gets a good shot into Striker. Striker is unable to turn it around. The MX-50Bs are now looking to push down the A lane. And Salmonella has come and joined up here. So they've got to be careful here, because those 50Bs, both of them are out and they're reloading, but they're not going to be that long to reload. Devil's Anthem is now fully loaded, so is Clutch. And Salmonella gets a bit of a smack as he comes around from Roses or Rosie. He's now been joined by Neptunus is now joined in. Renowned User is rotating back. So it looks like the action is going to be around here. Roses or Rosie really losing hit points, but Salmonella is losing more. Salmonella puts a shot into Renamed User, but he's a Mouse. It's not really going to hurt him that much. Renamed User gets another shot into him. I'm waiting to see what Devil's Anthem's going to do. And down goes Salmonella, courtesy of Roses or Rosie. Now they're going to push. Now ENT are doing the counter push. Here comes Devil's Anthem looking to take down Milon Usk maybe. Or even Emir Accurate. No, he bounces the first one. Milon Usk is the target for the mouses of Ken Wars and Renamed User. Clutch, however, is a one-shot. He's been taken down by Perfectionist and Neptunus. Devil's Anthem now got to back away. Was not able to land all 3 shots. Renamed User in Ken Wars here, desperately trying to take down Milon Usk, but Milon Usk gets into position and nicely safe. Enemy Accurate and Neptunus now being pushed. Roses a Rosie is now a one-shot. Devil's Anthem is all fully loaded, but Roses a Rosie may go down here. Chunston Churchill has gone down. Chunston Wirchel, sorry. But down goes Roses. Can Enemy Accurate be taken out? Yes, he can. What about Neptunus? Ken Wars is pushing. Perfectionist is coming in, trying to put shots into Necromancer. He manages to do so. Ken Wars here really harrowing Neptunus. Neptunus goes down. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Not yet, but in a minute. Sorry about that. Perfectionist now absolutely in trouble. Down he goes, leaving Lale Dharma, the last man standing. This is going to go to ENT. They get it on the points in any event. And there we go. Great stuff from ENT, but again, not bad stuff from King. They were doing well. They managed to get rid of Clutch very easily, but they took a long time to get rid of Roses a Rosie, and that was one of the problems. But anyway, that was a great game from both teams. Commiserations to King, although they will now go into the 3rd place playoff. Congratulations to ENT. They will jump into today's final. Both clans clearly making it into tomorrow. So let's see if we've got an opponent. Oh, sorry about that sneeze. So ENT, we don't know yet. It's going to be Halles, Winter Malinovka. We've already seen Halles, so no point me showing you that again. Going out about, well, 15 odd minutes. Let's quickly show you Winter Malinovka, just in case it does go that far. I think I have got Winter Malinovka. I can't remember. Yes, we have. There's Winter Malinovka. So let's see potentially where they're going to be going. Now again, Winter Malinovka, when you have random matches, everybody generally goes to the C cap, with a couple going to the A cap. What you generally have in tournaments is you normally get the mediums going down here, or even the lights, to try and get those fast caps. From this side, this bush, from the other side, that bush over there. Now, I have seen clans take their heavies, like E5s and IS4s, down this ramp here, over this ramp here, and trying to get up this ramp here to put pressure. And from this side, exactly the same thing. So that can happen, trying to put the pressure on into the spawn area. Now that stops anything going to the C cap from the A cap, rotating back through, because it does put a lot of pressure on. It also means that you can put your hull down tanks onto this ramp here and put pressure onto that B cap. Because what normally happens is from this spawn you can take a heavy into either this corner there, or most likely into this corner. But if you go into this corner, then I mean you're pretty safe, to be honest with you. Pushing into B, it does sometimes happen, then you become less safe because you can get shots from there, and you can get shots from there, and you can get shots from up there. The other thing that you generally do see is sometimes they will push their tanks out to this position here. That way they've got some cover, because down here and going through this middle bit is just a death trap, whereas up here is more likely. However, from the other spawn, it's better haul down, and you've got, sometimes you get E5s coming up here. They can put pressure around this area. Not only that, you can side scrape off this rock, and you can also get up here, and if anything's there, you can smack them there, and you can actually get shots into that corner if you can just see. So you can harry the enemy that way. From the other side, well, sometimes they stick a heavy here, most likely here, so they can react to that B cap strat. And we saw what they did if they're going to the A cap. So we'll see though. We never know. Let's just jump back out again. See if they've got an opponent yet. It's either E7 or Feast. have a look. No, we still don't have an opponent, and we've got another 10 odd minutes to go. So let me find another replay, and let me go and get some more things to drink. Oh, what am I doing? It's that one. So let's have a look. What have we got? Look at Gravity Force and Canal in the Emil.
Let's get this show on the road.
Yes, I'm back with my drink. Well, it's been great entertainment this afternoon so far. We've seen some great stuff from all the clans, to be fair. ENT are looking particularly dominant though. They're looking like they're on fire today. So it'd be nice to see who they come up against. Will it be Feast? Will it be E7? Well, we just never know. Could be either, or. We're going out in just over 10 minutes now. It's actually about 15 minutes what I'm talking about. It was 20 minutes earlier, wasn't it? I just mistimed it again because they go out at 36 minutes past the hour. So. Yeah, I did get boosters, Jack. Always get boosters. Oh, I collect boosters, me. I'm even tempted to buy them for gold. What? No, I'm not. I'm not. Of course I'm not. That would just be silly and incomprehensible. It's not like you get them for free, is it? You know? Good little roll out this in the Emil. I do like the Emil. I think it's a great little tank. A lot of people sit around and say it's OP. It's not OP. It's just a nice tank. It's like people were arguing this morning. Some people were arguing this morning that you know, the T25 Pilot and the STG are both absolutely rubbish tanks, and I don't agree. To be honest with you, I mean, I think the tank is what you make it. And the STG, I've had oodles of fun in that thing. It's not an easy tank to play, I grant you that, but it's a nice tank. And as for the Pilot, again, I mean, it's not a bad tank. And they've had a lot of detractors recently, to be honest. A lot of people have been saying that they're not good tanks. Oh, 47 hit points left. That was a good roll by the T49. But that's a nice roll back into the 49. Like I said, they've had a lot of detractors, both those tanks. But you know, I played the Pilot on my Asia account very nicely, and it makes me lots of credits when I need credits because I'm free to play on this account. I haven't got the STG on this account, but I have played it on my main account on the EU, and you know, I don't think it's that bad. It depends. I mean, you know, if somebody said to me, what tanks do I find trash? I say, well, the VK168 I don't like. I think it's an awful premium. And I'm not overly keen on the Panther 88 because I think it's in the wrong tier. And I absolutely detest the A32. It's the only the only premium tank I've ever sold. And when that came up for you can sell it, trust me, I took the gold. I got rid of that thing as soon as I could because I just didn't like it. I just think it's absolutely pants. I think it's got an awful gun, an awful reload, awful damage, awful armor. And it's got really bad mobility. And I just don't like the tank. And if you don't like the tank, you're not going to play the tank well. And I tried and tried and tried to like that tank, but I just couldn't. Same as the VK168. I've tried and tried to like that tank, but with the exception of gravity, uprising, or the silly game modes like that, I just don't like it. The Panther 88, I'm still in two minds on that one. The reason I'm in two minds because why would you buy the Panther 88 when you get the Panther 2 in the same tier? Get the Panther 2. It's a better tank, better armor, better gun, better damage. Why even bother with the 88? There's no point. Because I just find it's a Panther 1 with a gun that's slightly bigger. Oh, that's a great shot and very lucky bounce. That was a really lucky bounce. That SU should have finished him off. Bless him. It's a great little first class though. Well done. Have we got any results coming in? Do we know who the finals are? We should do by now. It's Feast against ENT in the finals. That is the finals coming up 36 minutes past the hour, which is in 11 minutes from now. So let us find one more replay, hopefully. Also, even in the AMX. Shall we try that one? Or do you want to? Or shall we try good? No, let's try this one, the AMX 30B. I don't think anyone's seen this one. This is from the NA server. So let's give that a bash. Let's have a look. Not a bad tank, the AMX. To be fair, tier 10. It's a collector, of course. But that big turret on that big commander's cupola on the top is dangerous for it. It's a nice little all-down tank, but that thing sticks out like a sore thumb, to be fair. It really does. It's a nice little medium, though. You know, it's like a mixture between like a... It's like a mixture between an STB and a Leo, I guess. It's got a nice gun. It's got nice mobility. It's nice all down. It's got a little bit more armor than the Leo, but similar gun, similar mobility. It's a good all rounder. I mean, it's not as it doesn't have the trolley armor like a T22. It does have that big cupola, so it's not like an STB. But it's got some armor, so it's not a Leo 1. It's like a mixture of all of them in one. I like it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't get on with it, but I think it's quite a nice tank. I always like watching replays from the other servers because, you know, so many people keep asking me, you know, is Asia the worst server play style wise, blah blah blah, and I say this all the time. The skill levels I get across all servers is pretty much the same. Okay, so no one server is better than the other skill wise. You're going to get good players, you're going to get bad players across all the servers. But what does vary is the different strategies that each server employs. So, for example, on Asia, on Yukon, you generally get everybody going to the waterfall. Literally everybody, and you get absolutely wrecked. You don't generally get that on the EU server. Not everybody goes to the waterfall. They'll send a couple of tanks to the waterfall, but majority of them will go to the middle area. And on NA, you sort of get a mixture between either the waterfall or to where the A cap is, with a little bit in the middle. I haven't played it on CIS, so I can't tell you. So it's not the skill level that varies from server to server, it's the actual strategies that varies from server to server. I mean, you can see here on NA, you know, they came from, they're on, you know, an E100 there and a mouse that didn't start there. That's not their spawn point, so they've flanked all the way around. And you very rarely get that with super heavies on, say, EU. You very rarely get it. With the super heavies trying to dominate the middle of the map. But you can see here that there's nothing in the middle of the map apart from the 268. Even the team that spawned that side haven't gone to cover the cap area or the middle of the map. So it's different strats. That's all it is. Different strategies. Skill levels generally the same across all the servers. And that's an IS-8. It's a heavy that should be played like a medium. If you're struggling with the IS-8, guys, play it like a medium. Play it like a second line medium and you'll get on much better with it. Because it's a very weak heavy and it's a very strong medium. That's what I suggest anyway. Because a lot of people struggle in tanks like the IS-8. And there's no reason to, really. It's just knowing the tank. And as I said, if you play it like a sort of heavium rather than a straightforward heavy, you'll get on better with it. You need to aim a little bit lower there, mate. Like that. Just the mouse left. It's his clanmate, so it'll be a nice kill. Oh, he wants to get him. He wants to get him. Yeah, there you go. Clanmate killing clanmate. Never a bad thing. So that's a nice little first class there, and nice little game. As you can see, both IS-8 struggling. Bless them. We should have the invite now for the final. And we do. So I'm going to ready up and then jump back out. Because we've got 4 minutes, so just wait for another minute and then jump back in again. So this is the final for Previous Skill number 1, the group stage between Feast and ENT. Quite a good final to... Oh, let's drop that back in again so everybody can see my ugly mug. Or... the beard. Nothing wrong with the beard. Got a bit of grey coming in, so I'm going to make it like, see if I can get it like a Gandalf. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Or maybe not. So we'll jump in about 10 seconds into the room. If I jump in too early, all you're seeing is people readying up. Let's jump in then. So we will have here on Halas Feast on the south spawn, ENT on the north spawn. Feast have already read it up, and we have Bifrost in an E5, F Silver in a T22, 007 James in a Clanwagon, Roadblock in the IS4, Zepak in an E5, Sleeping Lion in a Clanwagon, and alas, Sugar Magoo is not in his T22, he's in an E5. Moving over to ENT, so far we have Clutch in a Clanwagon, Devil's Anthem in an IS4, King Wars in a Clanwagon, Roses Are Rosy in a Clanwagon, Necromancer in an E5, Striker in an E5, and renamed user potentially in a T22. So that's how they're readying up. It'll be interesting to see how they play this. As I said, with Halas, you're looking for maybe fast caps, either A or B, going down those ramps and putting pressure when sending your T22 with one side and the T22s the other side over to the C cap to try and put some domineerance down there. But, as per usual, you never know what they're going to do strat-wise. We can only anticipate and guesstimate. And that's what we're doing. Just got over 2 minutes before kickoff here for the final of the group stage of PYS number 3 here in Asia. So, time to chill, time to relax, grab yourself a cup of tea or whatever. Maybe some munchies. Let's watch this final between these two fantastic clans. This is the bit I hate, the long countdown for the first opening game. The countdown's half for the between game 1 and game 2, but it's like 5 minutes for the first game. And it's it just seems a lot longer than it should. But you have to appreciate clans do take the opportunity for this long countdown because in between the matches they normally jump into a training room. To agree on the strat, what strat they're going to take for what map, etc, etc. So you understand why there is a longer countdown for the first game than there is for the second game. But less than a minute to go now before the final. Here on Asia, it's going to be a good one. It is going to be a good one. So far, ENT haven't really put a foot wrong. We've not seen the Feast games, so it'd be difficult to say. But ENT seriously haven't put a foot wrong at the moment. I mean, ENT are riding high on the table. I think they're 4th at the moment with Feast in 2nd, I believe. Yeah, Feast is 2nd and ENT are 4th. So this obviously helps both parties today, climbing up that leaderboard. At the moment, the idea is to knock Root Nova off RN. RN are riding high at the top. They're in the other group, so we need to have a look at the results of that group later. But we're focused on this one first. So we have hit point advantage going slightly to Feast, less than 300. So it's not massive. ENT, however, well, they've been playing well. Let's see what goes on. Let's get up high into the back of the map. Hey, the beard's coming along, Mr. Rolling. Getting there, dude. So at the moment we have F Silver heading out towards the middle area. Zepak is behind him along with Roadblock. And Bifrost is the only one heading to the A cap. So there's going to be a lot of domineering around this middle area. You can see Rename User has gone towards B, supported by the Crown Dragon of King Wars and E5 of Striker. The rest of the ENT heading towards the C, apart from Devil's Anthem, was going through the middle. F Silver gets a good shot into Necromancer here. Zepak and Sugar Magoo, though, they are in good position to try and reset, although Sugar Magoo is having to turn round. They are having to turn round. Roses and Clutch are coming with the 2 Crown Dragons up to the C cap. C cap will be taken by ENT, but Feast have rotated massively. And you can see Bifrost, as I said, is getting down to that ramp, putting pressure onto King Wars. Now he's going to cap the B. If he can cap the B and the tanks behind him will cap A, they will take the advantage and then bunker down. But you can see there, Sleeping Lion really getting a pummeling. B cap is taken by Bifrost. That is a great steal from under the noses. Taking advantage of the fact they're all at the C cap, realistically. So now Feast are probably going to bunker down, rotate their tanks back through. Looks like Sugar Magoo and Zepak are going to stay on this corner. And what they're going to do, because we've got Roses of Rosie and the E5 Necromancer there. And we've got Clutch just up there as well. So 3 tanks over the other side of the map. King Wars is pretty much isolated. F Silver gets a big smack though. Bifrost and now Sleeping Lion is on the ramp also. So, in not conventional way of getting there, but it's pretty much, as we sort of said, they're going to get to the ramps, they're going to put the pressure. And at the moment, the control of this map sits with Feast, does not sit with ENT. Feast have got more control of this map at the moment. They've got both flanks covered, And unlike most maps, they can't really come through the middle. So you've got to come down one of the flanks to push onto these caps, which is one of the unique things about this map. So Devil's Anthem is going to drop into the B cap. However, look at the numbers that Feast have got. They're 100 points ahead, and you can see the rotation of Feast here. Sleeping Lion is going to stay there. He's the sacrificial lion, so to speak. While the rest of Feast are pushing round to the C cap. Poor old Sleeping Lion is sacrificial. Down he will go. But at the same time, look at the movement of Feast over into the C cap. We're going to just leave Sleeping Lion to be slaughtered. The E5s of Zepak and F Silver are probably dropping into the C cap as they harry the Crown Wagons of Clutch and Roses of Rosie. Sugar Magoo looking to drop down onto Roses of Rosie, and he does, but he is getting smacked a lot, even though he's dropped his reactive armour. Good shots coming in from Clutch there, but now Zepak and Roadblock are coming in. They have lost Sleeping Lion, so ENT, and now they've also lost Bifrost and Sugar Magoo. This is a good turnaround by ENT. Extending those, they've lost a Crown Wagon of Roses of Rosie, but Clutch is in a great position, and ENT have got the advantage. They are pushing down here on the T20. Oh, down goes 007 James. It's 3 against 2. Too many. There's the 3. They're going to take Clutch. He's still hanging in there, bless him. Clutch is still there, and he's doing a sterling job. They just haven't been able to finish him off. This is going to be annoying, but they've won it on points anyway. Feast there not being able to finish off those Cran Wagons. They managed to get Roses out, but Clutch, not only did he dish out a shed load of damage, but despite the fact there were 3 tanks on him, they failed to take him down. Feast will be kicking themselves there. It was a great move from Feast to begin with, but a great counter strat by ENT. Beautifully executed, putting Feast completely under pressure. So really, really well played by ENT. They're looking really, really up for it today. We're going to swap those spawn points here on Halas. Feast now on the north spawn, ENT on the south. Bifrost in an E5, F Silver in a T22, 007 James in a Crown Wagon, Winter Fox rotating in for Roadblock in an E5, Zapak in an E5, Sleeping Lion in the Crown Wagon, and Sugar Magoo in his T22. Moving over to ENT, well, we have Clutch again in a Crown Wagon, Devil's Anthem in an IS4, Keng Wars in a Crown Wagon, Roses of Rosie are in an E5, our Necromancer in the IS4, renamed user in an E5, and Striker in a Vickers Light. ENT already have got one hand, one paw, one whatever you want to call it, on all the cups for the group stage here. They are secured for going into tomorrow, so a Feast of course, but ENT will be looking, they will have their eye on grabbing all the cups here today and trying to leapfrog Feast in the rankings. Feast, however, will be looking to turn this back around, give them back the advantage, take the battle to ENT, bring that up to a 1-1 and take it to a decider. But at the moment, ENT are playing particularly nicely today. They are playing particularly well. I mean, that last game was a particularly well executed counter strat. You can see here that, again, I mean, there's good mobility on the Feast team. With, I mean, you got 2 IS4s and 2 Crown Wagons on the ENT team. They've got better mobility on Feast side, but didn't help them in the last game. Looking at the hit points, well, near as damn it, they're the same. Feast this time, apart from Sugar Magoo and F Silver, are all heading towards the middle and the C cap. Sugar Magoo is looking to get that B cap, or at least oversee it, with F Silver just looking at the ramps in the middle area. Striker is going to look to fast cap the A cap by looks on it. Yes, he is. Clutch is just going to hold down in a good position. Necromancer is going to go into the middle area with the rest of the team looking to bolt it round to the C cap, where they'll come across Feast in the E5. So let's just get over to the C cap area here. Winter Fox, Bifrost and Zepak are having to stay low. Sleeping Lion is trying to get shots into Devil's Anthem. He manages to connect with one. The B cap will be taken by Feast, so Feast will take the early advantage there on the caps. Rename user, Roses of Rosie and Devil's Anthem here on the C cap. So it's even Stevens tanks on this side. It's all about what happens in that middle. At the moment, King Wars is just overlooking the C cap area and the middle. Necromancer and Clutch also just on overlook with Striker right at the back where the TDs normally go, just in case anything comes down that middle bit. Looks like Necromancer is trying to rotate round, probably give some support to Striker, but it's what's going to happen over here. C-Cap has now been taken, but again, Feast do have the advantage, but they did have the advantage in the last game. So it looks like ENT are going to be stacking up for a double push down both flanks. That's what it looks like they're looking to do. I mean, Necromancer has moved all the way towards the A-Cap, and he's going to drop into the A-Cap. That's going to put a bit of pressure onto Feast. He has got Clutch in support, and he's got Striker as well. So that's what we're looking at. At the same time, we have the two E5s, a Cranwagon and Devil's Anthem here in the IS-4, poised on this flank to potentially push those E5s. Feast, well, at the moment, they are now going to start losing that advantage. And I'm trying to work out, F Silver is going to go round into the middle to try and give some more support to the flank area, along with Sleeping Lion and 007 James. Sleeping Lion gets smacked there. So this is where ENT's positioning comes into play. They're anticipating these type of movements, and they're anticipating something going into through the B cap. So this is going to be an interesting one to see. Rename users now pushing up. King Wars is there. Necromancer is still in the... This is good positioning by ENT. Sugar Magoo and F Silver, though. F Silver going around to support Sugar Magoo as they try and look to try and steal that A cap. But the problem with that is there is Clutch and there is Striker in the Vickers. They're there to prevent the A cap from being stolen. Necromancer has now moved out of there completely after going in to steal it. Now we're going to get the movement over on the flank with the E5s moving up. And look at ENT's movement. They're backing away, trying to drag the E5s over. The E5s now, do they go for E5s? Do they go for Devil's Anthem? Necromancer's coming in as well. Now we've got a three-line whip here for ENT. And this is good stuff. Now ENT are pushing onto the E5s. King Wars and Rename User pushing down onto Zepak, trying to get him out of the game. Zepak manages to drop his reactive armor, but he's a one-shot. Zepak is going to go down here. Roses or Rosie should be able to take him, but Devil's Anthem is also looking worse for wear. Roses does not take him. Zepak is still alive. Down goes Devil's Anthem. They're going to be kicking themselves for not getting rid of Roses. Sorry, not getting rid of Zepak. Down goes Clutch. It's all happening around here now. Points are almost even. Stevens. Feast have taken the advantage. They've taken down Renamed User. This is desperately, desperately bad for ENT. ENT of 3 against 5. Down goes Roses. And it's going to go to Feast, this one. And it does on the points. They're going to be kicking themselves, ENT. They had control. They were unable to deal with Zepak in short shrift. And that really turned the tables. So Feast will take it to the decider. Congratulations to Feast there. Commiserations to ENT, but Feast definitely deserved that. Their strat was a bit better, even though ENT put themselves into a great position. The movement and the rotation and the focus fire from Feast was just that much better. So we are going into Winter Malinovka. This time, Feast on the North Spawn, ENT on the South Spawn. I'm expecting to see a change in the meta here, and yes, we have got that. Feast, we have Bifrost in an E5, F Silver in a T22, 007 James in the E5, Winter Fox in the IS4, Zepak in a Mouse, Sleeping Lion in a Cranwagon, and Sugar Magoo in a Mouse. So, out come the big boys, the two super heavies of the Mouse. Moving over to ENT, well, they haven't picked their meta yet. They're still deciding, no doubt, on their strat. Feast here looking to dominate probably the middle area with those Mouses, with the possibility of sending F Silver and maybe Bifrost and Winter Winter Fox down towards the A cap. You just never know. Sorry, Bifrost and James, but you just never know. I mean, it could be that strat. It could be a B and an A strat, or they could be sending them towards the A side. I'm tentative more with those mouses going to B. Moving over to ENT. Well, so far we have Clutch in an E5, Devil's Anthem in an IS4, Keng Wars in an E5, Roses are Rosie in a mouse, Necromancer in a T22, Rename User in a mouse, and Striker in an IS4. So, pretty similar meta for both teams. The only difference being 2 IS4s and no Kranwagen for ENT. So, just the one medium and for both teams here. But there is a Kranwagen on the side of Feast. No Kranwagen, it's just the additional IS4 for ENT. Will it make a difference? Well, we just won't know until we get up high into the back. Looking at the hit points, well, there's 500 in it between Feast and ENT, but 500 just not enough. Now we can see here F Silver is not making a beeline for the A cap, but our Necromancer is. Feast are making a beeline for the C cap. Apart from Sugar Magoo in his mouse, he's going to be looking for the middle area. Moving over to ENT, well, we can see the mouses are looking for domination of the middle area. Striker and Devil's Anthem are going to cover the C cap, and we've got Necromancer and potentially the E5s of Clutch and Chem Wars heading down. So, it looks like ENT will get the cap advantage. Necromancer's got free real estate down there. Nobody is going to be opposing him. But likewise can be said for Feast as they take their E5s up to the top, as we pointed out when we did the flyover, getting up to that windmill area and those all down tanks. Winter Fox in the IS4 able to cap C, but the advantage is going definitely to ENT. Now, shots coming in from the middle area from Zepak in the mouse, and Sugar Magoo is there, but Zepak is getting absolutely mullered. He has lost over half his hit points. Those are good shots coming in from Keng Wars and the likes of Roses. So Zepak here in serious, serious trouble. He's in a mouse, but he's lost over half his hit points. He is desperate for help. Clutch is coming round to put shots into the back of him. Zepak is the target. He is not going to be lasting here, but Keng Wars, I think, bounced his shot there. Down goes Zepak. Sugar Magoo is now going to be the next on the hit list, but at the same time, Devil's Anthem and the IS4 has gone down. His Feast pushed him rotate round through the spawn of ENT. 007 James is being smacked. Ooh, that's a big roll. Was that an ammo rack, or was that just many, many, many shots going into Keng Wars? He just lost a lot of HP very quickly. Down goes the second mouse, though. That was too big. That's a big blow for Feast. Their mouses have gone. That will now allow ENT to focus on the rest of them. And without their mouses, well, it gives the advantage slightly to ENT. Although Necromancer is being harried by Bifrost. Bifrost is chasing him around, but at the same time, Winter Fox is also being harried by the mouse of Rename User. Now, Necromancer may not survive that, but Winter Fox is just getting into safety here. Although Rename User and Clutch are looking to chase him down, where at the same time, James Bond here is looking to try and get shot into Roses a Rosie. Down goes Necromancer. He didn't survive, but poor old Winter Fox is going to go down here. Down he goes. So Feast are pretty much on the back foot. Down goes Clutch, however. That's a blow for ENT. Now F Silver and Bifrost are looking to take the battle out for Renamed User. Sleeping Lion comes in. Should be able to finish him off. Yes, he does. Now it's 2 against 3. It's a mouse and an IS4. They have the hit point advantage, do Feast, but they don't have the base advantage. However, Roses a Rosie just lost a shed load of HP. And it's going to go to Feast this one. Striker, bless him, not much he can do in the IS4 here. He's going to get surrounded and absolutely mullered by F Silver. Great comeback from Feast. Really, really nicely done. I do think that was an ammo rack on poor old Keng Wars, which I don't think really helped. But ENT, valiant effort, but Feast knocking it up. And like I said, they will spoil anybody's party. And that's exactly what they've done here. ENT played, seriously, didn't put a foot wrong until that second game on Halas. whereas Feast able to turn the tables and take it. So Feast are today's winners on this group final at the expense of ENT. So congratulations to Feast, commiserations to ENT, but ENT have played particularly nicely and particularly well today. They will not, however, be leapfrogging Feast today. Let's have a look at the rest of the table. Let's see what happened in Group 2, if we can. So we had King and E7. They went out third place. That was won by E7, so E7 would be very happy with that. Moving down to the second group, we had GV against ID. And GV beating ID 2-1. So they'll be very happy with that. And moving down to HLV and RN, they'll both be disappointed for not getting into the final. Well, RN beating HLV, that should keep RN, who have 13,000 cups, potentially... No, it may not keep them at the top. Feast may have overtaken them, and ENT would definitely have overtaken HLV. So I'm expecting ENT to now be in third, Feast to be in first, and RN to be second. But they've got to do it all again tomorrow, guys. Literally all again tomorrow. So that's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, we're back tomorrow for the final stage of PYS number 3. We're seeing some fantastic games here on Asia. With that, that's all today from me, I'm afraid. There is no more games. So I'm going to open a container before I go, though. And why not? It's a free one. And it's a booster. Ooh, boosters. Anyway, guys, big congratulations to all the clans today. It's been a pleasure to watch all of you. We've seen some fantastic gameplay. As I said, I'm back later today with EU and then NA. I'm back on the Asia server tomorrow, for the final group. Until then, guys, wowzers. What can I say? It's been a great day. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Fujit, you've been fantastic, and the clans have been even better. Until the next time, have a good day, whatever day you're in, whatever time zone you're in, and just enjoy it. And until then, bye for now.